Welcome to Ladies Talking Leafs Quick Hits. I'm Chris.
And I'm Sil.
And it's patio season, and we hope everyone is having a great summer, Leafs Nation, and all hockey fans. Hopefully you're enjoying it. But before we get into this quick hit episode, a reminder that Ladies Talking Leafs is presented by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, you can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit to bet on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played.
When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on the game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit of up to $250. Bet online, the game starts here. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know needs support or advice, reach out to Connex Ontario or an organization near you. Place your limits and stay within it.
So this year was a historic year for women's hockey. In episode number 5 from this season, we had the honor of having Canadian Olympian Cheryl Pounder as a guest on our podcast.
The Professional Women's Hockey League started up in January 2024, and Cheryl gave us a preview of what we should expect from the new league. Her energy and excitement were exactly what was showcased in the inaugural season of the PWHL. So have a listen.
All right. So we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the new PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, that's going to be starting up in January, which is very exciting for the women's game. And we just want to get your thoughts on. We know that the teams are still forming, I guess, but what teams or players should fans watch out for as the season gets going in January for the new league?
Oh, there's so many wonderful players out there that, I think that the fan base are going to just gravitate towards. You've got a great head coach in Carla McLeod out of Ottawa right now. And of course, she's got Brianne Jenner there. So a leader on the national team, which I think that everyone can kind of gravitate towards, with a great technical goaltender in Emmerich Mashmeyer. But Boston, ladies, Boston's gonna be heavy.
Really?
Right? I mean, Boston is going to be Alina Mueller. She's on the international stage with Switzerland, but this is a woman who can score. She can distribute the puck, and I think that if you get eyes on her, you're gonna love her, as well as Lauren Gable. I've questioned why she hasn't gotten a better sniff with the national team, but she's got an unbelievable shot, arguably one of the best in the world. And that's pretty telling when you have a certain someone named Marie-Philippe Poulin playing in Montreal. So, she can go toe to toe with her shot. So you've got Montreal, you've got, New York, all of these teams that I think are just going to garner, just such an electric environment, because it is the best of the best. And when I often think about the different players in the league, it's not just, your national team players that are playing here, right? There's some players, that are just coming out of college. You have Daryl Watts playing in Toronto. She was a Patty Kazmaier Award winner, who in NCAA. So the best in the NCAA, essentially, that award is. And, she'll be playing out of Toronto with Emma Malte, who's one of my favorites in terms of a 200-foot game, one of the best sticks in the game. And she is just so great at keeping her feet moving. So I could go on and on about the depth of this league, but really excited, and hopefully going to be able to broadcast some of those games. Keep your fingers crossed.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I think one of the greatest things now is the visibility. And I get asked this a lot. Did you think that there would ever be a professional women's hockey league? And, when I was young, it wasn't possible because it didn't see it. And now my daughters, their friends, young girls playing the game now are going to see it. So on a regular basis, and they're going to aspire, for those who want to be a part of it. And that'll be a long-term goal. Just like for young boys, it's the NHL. So I think it's pretty amazing. And I'm telling you, when September 18th, the draft, you could have pinched me 1,000 times and I wouldn't have felt it. I was just kind of in a bubble as I was watching all of some of my former teammates and alumni there that just came to watch because
awesome.
they just wanted to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, it was pretty surreal. I had to pinch myself that first pick in Taylor Heisey and just go, oh yeah, it's happening. It's happening, which is pretty amazing.
Something just listening to you talk about it right now, like it's just the fact that we're going to have players from all over the world gravitating and playing together on one team, which we haven't really had the opportunity to see, you know, like we see, you know, best versus best, but national teams, but now we're going to, you know, you just mentioned a Swiss player, you know, like playing on a team with, you know, like players from North America. It's just, I don't know. It's really actually exciting. As you are the perfect person to have on to talk about this, because I can feel your excitement and I am now so excited to see it myself.
It's, and what's amazing about it is there's an undercurrent of unbelievable talent in North America and in Europe that aren't necessarily making their national teams, but that undercurrent is so good and could make their national teams, right? Like if there's a number of players that don't make Team Canada that I sit there and go, wow, like I'm surprised, you know, you know, you're on my depth chart, you're higher than someone else, but you know, I'm not the staff. I don't create it, which is fine. Everyone has a different eye, and it's a puzzle piece, as we know. Chemistry. We talk about Bertuzzi, whether, you know, we talk about, you know, who fits in, who makes that better, and who likes to play with who, and all of these things that factor in. So these women, these young women, a lot of them younger because they're coming out of college, they have that opportunity now. And so in the prime of their career is not ending. It is continuing. So I don't think we've seen these women in their prime at their very, very best, even though that's something to say when you've got Poulins out there. But,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be exciting. We hope to get, we're going to get out to one of the Toronto games in January, hopefully the home opener, once the schedule comes out, and to our listeners too, make sure you get out there and support the team wherever you are. We have listeners in the States too. Go out and see New York and Boston and
watch. People need to watch on TV.
Yeah, on TV. Well, hopefully we'll get, like Cheryl was saying, hopefully we'll get it on, get the games there on PSN or on the networks there. So So every time I listen to that interview of Cheryl, I get goosebumps because you can just feel how proud she was of women athletes and the game finally getting the recognition it deserves. All the hard work that she and so many other great female hockey players put in for years has finally paid off in the form of the PWHL. So, it was just a phenomenal year. It was just great. I really got into the finals more so with that Boston and Minnesota, and Minnesota. Actually, that was very odd, the way Toronto picked Minnesota to be their opponent in their first round, and then they end up going all the way and winning the first inaugural PWHL championship. But Cheryl's interview is great. It was, and we both encourage our listeners to have a listen at that episode number 5.
Yeah, it was. I don't think we really knew at the time when we had her on and we talked to her about this, just what kind of preview she was giving us, like the passion she spoke with and the players she highlighted, everything, just really matched the season that we got. So, it was incredible. And I can't wait to see what else, they do this year, because the league's just going to grow. And I think they're, they sold out arenas much more than they thought they even would. I think it's going to be an incredible second season as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to put names on their,
this
teams
time they're going to have,
too.
they're going to have the team nicknames and stuff.
Nicknames,
so we're going to be able to get some merch, which is great. And anyway, we want to thank Cheryl Pounder again for coming on our show, and you will find the complete interview wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts on Apple, Spotify, or you can also find us on the Believe Believe Network at Believe.com. So you can also watch the episode on YouTube, and our handle there is at LTL 1917. And we have included a link to this episode. You can find it in our show notes just below the show description.
Yeah. So that's a wrap on this edition of Ladies Talking Leafs Quick Hits. As always, we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment, a rating, or a review wherever you listen and or watch the podcast. And we appreciate you taking the time.
And before we go on, another reminder to check out our Ko-fi page at Ko-fi.com. In our photo gallery, we share some of our memories from the 2024 All-Star Game, our trip to Stockholm, and some of our memories from Maple Leaf Gardens as well. You can find the link to our show notes and enjoy patio season, Leafs Nation. You'll hear from us again soon. Go Leafs, go!
Leafs, go!